not fair. Everyone's coming short.
You didn't get the memo?
No. Mm,
It's actually 360.
yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Could be that.
That's the application. Okay, cool. Good evening, everybody. We will be beginning our meeting today, the joint meeting of the Public Safety Committee and the Executive Committee. Jeremy will be calling roll.
Evening, everybody. When I call your name, please just acknowledge. I'm going to be calling two committees. I don't see any board members online, so I won't give additional instructions. So we're calling two committees. I might call your name twice. Please just acknowledge for both committees. We will start with Public Safety. Cynthia Jeffers.
Present.
Thank you. Jerry Chan.
Present.
Thank you. Joan Body. Thank you. Gabino Morales Escamilla. Kin Fung. Hector Gonzalez. Thank you. Zachary J.C. Danielle Lai. Barbara Lee. Thank you. Jamie Nelson. Sam Sierra. Kalina Sorma. Julio Pena III. Thank you. You need one more member for a quorum.
Okay, Sam is on his way, so.
I think we're over. Executive, Julio Pena III. Thank you. Pat Ruiz. Cynthia Jeffers.
Present.
Thank you. John DeLuper. Thank you. Karen Rolnick. Thank you. Jerry Chan. Thank
Present.
you. Rosie Moda. Thank you. Sam Sierra. Barbara Lee. Thank you. Executive Committee has a quorum.
So we could start the meeting. We're going to begin. We're here today to listen to two dispensary applications. We're going to start with 754 4th Avenue, which is located near about 24th Street and 4th Avenue. We received, by looking at the OCM database, that there was an application pending for First Class Cannabis LLC, which is located on the webpage. However, we at Community Board 7 did not receive any notification from the applicant. And when we inquired with OCM informed us that they have flagged the application with the licensing team regarding failure to serve notice. However, we're going to move forward and discuss this application so we could officially send OCM our recommendation. Also, we received some feedback from community members around that area. So the location again is 754 Fourth Avenue. We did receive concerns from community members regarding the location of this dispensary. As many of you know, there are several homeless shelters around that area. Four, one more is coming. There's also a methadone clinic, as well as overt drug use. At many of our meetings here in public safety, we're hearing concerns from the community regarding some open drug use around that area and that vicinity. Also, that there were 4 illegal cannabis shops in that same block, in that same area. So we do have the 72nd precinct with us today. And I believe they're going to share some data with us around the 911s and the 311s around that area.
Hey, it's Captain DeSaro. Can you hear me?
Gerber, you could unmute.
Hey, Captain DeSaro, can you hear me?
Hi, we can't hear you. Hang on one second. Try talking again.
It's Captain DeSaro. Can you hear me?
So it's coming through on closed caption, but we're getting no volume.
Yeah. Well, while we're waiting for Gerber and the captain to come speak, I just want to read the letter for the record that we received from the residents. So we are facing serious challenges regarding the proliferation of cannabis shops in our community, compounded with the number of shelters and drug treatment facilities in such a small area. Specifically speaking about around the area, around the 25th Street subway, it has become a major public safety issue for us. I am copying Greenwood Grape, a pillar business in our community who has been dealing with the cluster of dispensary shops near their business on 4th Avenue. They have ground knowledge about the situation. While I cannot be at the meeting, I wanted to share that on May 31st on the afternoon, 2 men emerged from a cannabis shop 2 doors down from this address, which is asking to be a dispensary. Perhaps it's the same address, I am not sure. As I was walking by, they proceeded to beat 2 other men on the sidewalk. I was very close and was nearly punched. I called 911, but did not stick around as I was very shaken up and afraid, so I am not sure the outcome. How can we have 4 cannabis shops in a 2-block span, 1 block from a clinic, and within 3 blocks of 4, soon to be 5 shelters? This new application cannot be approved, or the legalization of the one already there. Yes. We're going to try the captain again.
All right, Captain, let's see if we have your sound now.
You got me back up. Am I on? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, perfect. How you doing, Captain DeSaro? I'm the 72XO. I've just got some 911 data for you, some 311 data for you. So in the last 30 days, when I run 4th Avenue from 24th Street to 25th Street, we get 2 311 calls for noise over there, and then we get 7 911 calls over there. 3 of those calls are for suspicious persons, 1's for narco sales, and then you got 3 over there for disorderly groups that are concerning smoking, people drinking in the street. When I do a deeper dive and I go 60 days in, I get 4 311 calls over there, mainly making up a majority of noise. 911 calls, we get 9 associated with quality of life conditions. 7 for like suspicious people in the area, 1 for narcotic sales, 6 are for disorderly groups that include 2 for drinking, 2 for disorderly persons, 1 for smoking, and another individual who unfortunately appeared to be exposing themselves by the transit subway station. And then we have additional calls there for suspicious vehicles. So it is an area that's on our radar. Our NCOs pay very close attention to it because there are several not recorded like 911 calls. We get a lot of community complaints in on our end for quality of life conditions over there. So it's something we're always closely paying attention to.
Do you have specific information regarding the May 31st incident?
So that May 31st incident, I went to go look for records if anything was recorded on a complaint report or if anybody came forward. We didn't have any, complaints. It didn't look like to be, I'm not saying it's not a verified complaint, but we didn't have anything verified on our end. So whether we showed up and then, that, fight had dispersed, we don't have any recorded, incident of a crime occurring over there.
Okay, we'll make sure we follow up. And regarding any illegal cannabis shops in the vicinity, have you received specific complaints about them? I know there's a new portal that
So-
folks could use that I will be sharing with them as well.
So I have, in that specific area, no. However, when I heard that you say that there are community complaints coming in, I've been, just recently working very closely with the marshals. So any, community complaints you're getting on specific locations, if you can forward to me, I can get to the marshals ASAP. We have our own team. They were in the confines of the 7-2 yesterday.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. So now we're going to open it up to any community members who wish to speak about this specific location, 754 4th Avenue. Joe?
And folks, if you're joining us online, please use the raise hand function.
There's also a school on 25th Street between 3rd and 4th. So how does any cannabis shops, whether legal or illegal, open up near a school? I'm dead set against that. Thank you.
Thank you. Barbara?
Okay, so right now, there were two shops, like right by the train station on 25th and 24th Street. I mean, they were both on 4th Avenue. And they're closed now. But there was a lot of traffic there, and somebody also smashed the window to try to rob one of the shops. The people who stay in the shelters, because I live on the corner of 24th and 4th Avenue, they buy their weed and they come around. My area seems to be the place they like to hang out at, and they smoke all night. I went down there just to ask the police not do that because my apartment smells like an ashtray when I get home from work. And I have to say that I've talked to the people who run one of the shelters on 24th Street, and things are a little better, but people hanging out. Everybody knows me now, and like, I haven't gotten physical threats, but people have said really nasty things about me because they know I'm the main one complaining about stuff going on in front of my building. I'm concerned because, yeah, there is a lot of drug use there. And I never used to be afraid of like coming home. And now it's like I had to figure out different ways of going home so nobody sees me go into my apartment building. So, and that's really sad because I've never had that fear before. I've been living in this neighborhood for over 30 years.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Any other board members? Karen? Of course.
This is for the precinct officer. It doesn't seem to make much sense to me to deny a legal cannabis shop while allowing 4 illegal ones to stay open. What are we doing about the illegal cannabis shops? Because that seems to be a huge crux of the problem. Oh, two.
Who were closed?
2 of them have already been closed, but what are we doing about the illegal shops?
Captain?
So going into, whenever we receive community complaints or we become aware of any type of intelligence, how the city has been tackling these shops is, we have put together a task force, that consists of NYPD and the marshals. The marshals primarily come in, they inspect the locations. They're able to then, when they observe certain infractions, they're able to padlock the location. I believe there's a location on Fifth Avenue in close proximity to that area that, was recently closed as a result of these padlock laws. Now, when I say padlock, what that means is essentially they close it. They put them out of business until they go through a court proceeding, and they're able to, get a temporary order open, or they're permanently, closed. It's been primarily a joint partnership between us and the marshal's office. It's been extremely effective citywide. And then, when we go to talk about another location later, I'll be able to go into depth about, on 48th Street, location that we closed yesterday as well, utilizing this, this padlock, marshal, program that we have set up.
Thank you for that. Go ahead, Kevin.
So just in general, I think I'm like to say that I'm very concerned about this particular area because there is a methadone clinic nearby and there are 4 shelters at least that we know of in the direct area. And this population is vulnerable to begin with. And I think throwing in a cannabis shop in the mix of this vulnerable population would probably be a mistake.
Thank you for that. Any other board members? Hector? Thank you, Barbara.
My say is that I've been in that neighborhood for 48 years, and things are changed so drastically that it's even hard to go out at this time of night. It's very dangerous. 24th Street, that's where I conduct my festival for the past 18 years, and the changes are so drastic that people are afraid even to walk in the neighborhood.
Thank you. Now we will open it up to any community members that would like to make any comments specifically about 754 Fourth Avenue. Please make sure you say your name and your affiliation, please.
George Cardona, I've been in the neighborhood since 1979. Seferino Vieras, there's a street name for him. He had a similar problem like this in the 70s and 80s, and he was killed by the drug dealers. Nothing ever happened. I have an old man who's 90 years old on 25th Street, and he's afraid of coming out. He has spoken because he's old school, but he's afraid. And you can't, if you go out there now, or if you go at 2, 3, 4, who's ever thinking of approving this, you should drive in that area. And you're going to see them there, and they're nasty, and they want to confront, you know, and it's going to get to a point that somebody's going to get hurt. And usually it's the nice guy that gets hurt, because if he defends himself, he gets sued and in trouble. And again, that murder has, till this day, was never resolved. They named the street for him. And this guy was a Korean War veteran, came here. He says, I need my streets clean, and this happens. And somebody brought up school. That's an excellent point. Somebody brought up here that there's a school there. They're going to hang out in the yards. I remember when I was in 2nd grade, I used to see the guys do the needles right from the yard. Cops would come, they leave, cops leave, they come back. And it's really, really a scary situation for the children. It's good that we speak up, and I don't know what else to do, because when you try to speak to them, it's ugly. They want money, they know you got money. But thank you for listening to me.
Thank
And
you
I'm
for your
glad
comment.
whoever brought up about the school. Good point.
Hi, my name's Adam. Been a Sunset Park resident for about 20 years. A lot of people in this neighborhood do smoke marijuana, and they've been doing so even before it was legalized. This does not, after hearing everyone, this does not seem like a good location for a dispensary shop. However, I do personally feel, this is just my opinion, that Sunset Park residents, like everyone else in New York State, should have a place where they can buy this product legally. And I think that there should be a shop somewhere in the neighborhood, just because it is legal for everyone in New York, and Sunset Park is part of New York State. And also I feel that if we have a legal shop, then the illegal businesses will have less business. So that would mean less drug dealers in the neighborhood. And I think that would be good for the neighborhood safety in the long run.
Thank you for that. I think we have somebody online.
Dana Gallagher, you can unmute yourself.
Hi, I just wanted to speak about what Barbara was saying earlier about the two smoke shops that are across from each other. Um, they had that altercation. I think it was between the owners of the two shops. And there are 100% a ton of drug sales going on those two corners, including the deli that's on the 25th Street, right by the subway. I think the police could probably confirm that they've always had a lot of drug activity right there. And since these smoke shops have opened, it's gotten 100 times worse. And when people are trying to go in and out of the subway, you have to walk through a slew of people that are hanging out, smoking, doing drugs, and just basically have nowhere to go because there's so many shelters in that particular quadrant of Sunset Park, Greenwood Heights. And the other thing is that one of those shops is temporarily closed right now, the one next to the Greenwood Grape. And that happened, I believe, because of this altercation. And they might be the one that's actually applying. I'm not sure, or if it's the one that the window broke. But it is absolutely ruining that area. And my 16-year-old daughter gets hassled every night trying to come home from school and swimming. And it's depressing because it used to be relatively safe right there. And now I feel like I walk out the door, they're opening a 300-person shelter right there. And there's guys on my street now that are just sitting there openly shooting up. Regulars. That's it. The smoke shop should not be opened. That is my opinion.
Thank you so much for that. We're also going to follow up with the 72nd precinct about ramping up patrols in that area, not only for the smoke shops, but for some other concerns that you brought up, including the illegal and open drug use. I'll make sure I follow up with the precinct on that. They've been very good when we have highlighted areas to ramp up that patrol, and the captains on the line, I'm sure, taking notes as well.
I just to what she said, the corner, they pretended that they didn't own the smoke shop next door, but they did, because it was the same people. I've seen them before they opened up the smoke shop. They all used to work in that deli.
Okay, so we'll just get specific addresses because that's what they need. They need the specific addresses. Just to be clear, these are illegal shops that are currently running. We do not have any legal dispensaries yet in CB7. We have approved some card applications in the past, but those have not come yet to fruition. These particular locations that were discussed tonight are illegal shops. We did get an application for a legal one, and the concern is that particular block, due to the shelters that are around it, the methadone clinic, the overt drug use that's been happening, and the illegal shops that happen to be there. But I agree with you, Karen, those illegal shops need to be dealt with. So we're going to make sure we follow up with the 72nd. I want to thank all the community members for bringing that to our attention, and I will follow up via letter to the 72nd precinct and have a report for everyone by our meeting. Of course.
We talk about freedom. People say they have the freedom to smoke. Where's my freedom not to smell it? Not to have to open my window and smell it. Freedom works both ways. And freedom doesn't mean you get to do whatever you want in this country. Freedom gets to mean we get to vote, we get to talk, voice our differences, but be able to live here together. That's what freedom is. It's not to do whatever you want. Because I've had people say it's a free country, I could do whatever you want, and that's wrong. So we got to understand the freedom on the other side. Thank you.
Thank you. So it seems like we have, if anybody would like to make a resolution for my community, our Public Safety Committee on the 754 4th Avenue. As everyone knows, we are advisory. We could advise OCM our opinion and share what has been said tonight. But it is up to OCM to ultimately deny or issue the license. I just want to be very clear on that. So if I can get a motion from anyone, Joe?
I make a motion to deny the application to open the cannabis shop on 724
754 Fourth Avenue.
for all of the reasons that have been discussed tonight at our meeting.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Sam? Okay, we will take a vote. I think I have roll call now.
Public Safety
Public
Committee.
safety.
Okay.
I believe I have quorum. Sam came in.
Okay, yes, you do. So the motion to deny the application. Cynthia Jeffers?
Yes.
Cynthia Jeffers, yes. Jerry Chan?
Yes.
Jerry Chan, yes. Joan Body? Joan Body, yes. Gabino Morales Escamilla? Ken Fung? Hector Gonzalez? Hector Gonzalez, yes. Zachary Jacy? Danielle Lai? Barbara Lee? Barbara Lee, yes. Roberto Martinez? Jamie Nelson?
Yes.
Jamie Nelson, yes. Sam Sierra? Sam Sierra, yes. Kalina Sorma? 7 yes, 0 no's, 0 abstentions.
Okay, so we'll be sending a letter to OCM denying this application for First Class Cannabis LLC at 754 Fourth Avenue. We will be now hearing from our second application. We actually have the applicant with us. This application is for 512 55th Street. And I believe we have Mr. Alvarez with us. Mr. Alvarez, if you would come. Sam, this is for you, is a copy of the application. John, do you have one? Oh, no, you have one, right? Rosie has.
Yes, sir.
Four behind you. You have it, John? And Pat? Okay, Mr. Alvarez, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and your plans for a little bit about your background.
Hello, testing. I just want to say, I want to thank the
Please
community
speak
for,
into the microphone.
sorry?
You have to speak.
Okay,
Into the
I just want to thank the community for allowing me to review my application. This is a new business and it's a new venture for us. And this is going to be a family-owned business. But as for myself, I'm a 45-year-old male. I was born and raised in Sunset Park. I did all the local schools, PS 94. I went to Dewey and then they shipped me to John Jay. But I know all the restaurants, the people from the community. I grew up here. I played here. I did everything here. And I'm in the waste removal business. I'm in the waste removal business 16, going 17 years. And I've been servicing clients through this neighborhood, Park Slope, Cobble Hill, Borum Hill. I got a license in insured garbage company, and I'm licensed by the city as well. So I know how these licenses is to work with these licenses. They're very tedious, and there's a lot of compliance. So that's why I applied for the cannabis. And I'm a father of 3. This is my wife. She's the CFO of my business, and that is my brother, who's going to be the general manager, Daniel and Stephanie. And that's basically it. I'm just a regular Joe trying to, raise my family. And I feel like if you approve me for the cannabis license in the community, I will be doing a service for you guys. I will be cleaning up. I won't be having riffraff, people hanging out, smoking in front of the stores. I just want to make profit so I'll be able to give back to the community.
Can you tell us a little bit about your plans for the store, the location, and particularly why it was picked out? What are some of your plans regarding how is it that you plan to store the marijuana? How is it that you plan, like you said earlier, to mitigate outside smoking? 55th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue is mostly residential. The corner where you're at has that current real estate. It has restaurant/coffee shop, and that's about it. And to be very transparent, there was some concerns regarding Rainbow Playground, which is on 6th Avenue, directly up the block. And the LEAP Charter School, which is 1 block away, 100% within the regulations of you are able to have a cannabis shop because it is within 500 feet. But there are some concerns about that as to how would you not make this attractive to children or a place where people would want to go congregate and be in front of, or like someone said earlier, buy their product there and then smoke it on the street?
Okay, so basically the way I'm gonna run it is everything in compliance with OCM, the way they want it. I'm gonna have security outside checking the IDs to make sure nobody under 21 and nobody's hanging out loitering in front to begin with, you know? And then it's a small location, so there's not gonna be many people in there. I'm gonna have somebody in the front and then two people working, one in the where the storage is at, and one in the POS system, basically serving the product, you know? And the security in the front is gonna divert any loitering, any smoking. You're not allowed to smoke. I'm very big on that. And as for attractive for kids, it's gonna be basic, regular font. There's gonna be no graffiti. There's gonna be no pictures of entertainers, rappers, and nothing like that. It's gonna be very elegant, very straight to the point, and everything is gonna be locked away in the basement in a storage facility, locked away the way the way it's supposed to be complied with OCM. They won't approve me unless I comply with their needs.
Yeah, we had concerns because it's a very small space. The other applicants that we have had in the past have had very large spaces. And that's why we were concerned regarding the storage. So you'll be utilizing the basement for storage?
Yes, the basement's gonna be locked. We're gonna have room in the basement, and that's gonna be security room to lock all the safe room to lock all the products in. And there's gonna be cameras and a security system and everything else that's needed. And also, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Yeah, these other people got these big locations. I went all over through Brooklyn. I got a they accepted me the first time OCM distributed the licenses. I went all through Brooklyn. No landlords didn't want to do it. It was just so hard to obtain a location. I've been all up and down Brooklyn. And then finally, it bring me back to Sunset Park, my roots. You know, my wife thought I was crazy, you know, because Sunset's getting a little, you know, but I'm ready to just, you know, bring it back to the community and clean it up because that's what it needs.
Thank you for the information. So I do have a question. Now, since you mentioned the basement, so if you include the basement, it's no longer 400 square feet or 360 square feet.
It's going to be larger, yes.
Okay, so the square footage is actually bigger.
It's going to be double, yes. Because it's the basement's the size of the facility upstairs that we're going to use, the showroom.
I also had a question regarding the egress. So you have one entrance and one exit, no
That's
emergency?
one way in, one way out, no emergency exit. We blocked it off. We don't want no yard access because of the way it's structured in Brooklyn. People try to get in through the backyards, through the roofs, you know? So we sealed that off, one way in, one way out.
So going back to the egress, I'm sorry. All right, going back to the egress, since you're putting everything in the basement, that means there's only one exit out, one exit in.
There's a stairwell going down to the basement, and then you got the Bilco doors that you could lift up, but it's locked from the inside, locked from the outside. During the day, it'll be unlocked from the outside, but locked in the inside. But once we leave the premises, it's gonna be fully locked, alarmed, and gated. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, we have stairs from inside the facility that's gonna be going down into the basement. You don't have to go outside to go to the basement. We're gonna have stairs in the showroom that go down into the basement.
Yeah, going back to, we were presented multiple applicants.
Yes.
Some of them, they have a safe room that, so, sorry. So-
Yes, the safe room's gonna be in the basement with the office and the bathroom.
Okay,
Showrooms upstairs gonna have his merchandise, a little bit of clothing, you know, literature on, you know, what to do and what not to do with the cannabis, et cetera.
so, and when people come into the door, are you going to have a dead man door? That's what that means. You know what's a dead man door?
A double door.
No, one
A
door, it's
double-
gonna swing in door. It's a swinging door. It's a double door, but one side's gonna stay locked, one side's gonna open. The security is gonna let the gentleman open, and there's gonna be a buzzer as well. to get in.
Everyone will be buzzing.
It's gonna be a buzzer, like a jewelry shop, yeah.
And your proposed out days and hours of operation?
Monday through Sunday, but Monday through Saturday, I believe I put 11 to 7, and then Sunday, I think 10 to 7, and Sunday is gonna be 11 to 6. And it's a very small location, so we're definitely gonna outgrow it soon, you know. This is the only thing I could get in my hands on in compliance. And as for the Rainbow Park, I understand that it's up the block, but it's like a block and a half away, and maybe we'll throw events in there and sponsor, but not cannabis related, just any type of events, you know, basketball, whatever, you know, the kids is into.
Okay, so how will you contribute, now that you mentioned that, how will you contribute and engage with the community?
Like I said, I will definitely sponsor events, any baseball, basketball teams. You know, I have young kids as well, stuff like that. Skateboarding, I came from a skateboarding background when I was young, so people sponsored me, so I'm just gonna give back to the kids, honestly, you know?
Yes, so I'm follow up her question again. Looking at the Google map, you are surrounded by residents. But
Lots of, lot of residents, yes.
people will staring at me. People will line up for the cannabis and stuff. Because
So-
you buzzing people in. How are you going to deal with? I know you will give back. That's great.
Yes.
How are you going to deal with residents that across the street, right next to you, right? That people might be standing in front of their yard waiting to get in.
We're gonna rope it off and we're only gonna, honestly, I'm trying to have like people call in before they come pick up their product, order online, stuff like that, like a delivery to go hub. I don't want no hangouts. I don't want a big showroom. Simplicity is the key for my, my program I'm trying to do with this cannabis.
How would you mitigate, like Jerry said, so we're looking at the map right next to it, it's a thing, so if you have a line, so I'm assuming you're just going to rope off the area right in front of you? Would you have like people come back at a later date if it's a long line, so
By
that way they don't
yes.
have that and schedule appointments to come in? to
Yes,
view
by
the product?
appointments, and honestly, I'm in the service-based industry, so I go to people's houses and I remove their rubbish, so I'm trying to base this cannabis like a delivery format, more or less, you know? And eventually I'll grow this store and that'll be the office or something, but I want a delivery aspect is my more, you know? But this is the showroom to get the license.
Have you spoke yet with the 72nd precinct and the NCO officers?
No, I haven't, to be honest. I just don't know the connections and I didn't know the procedures to get in touch with them, to be honest. But if I work with you guys, I'm sure you guys to help me, you know, work that out.
Have you selected a security company yet?
No, not yet. I've just been shopping around and dealing with other dispensaries and who they use. So I'm just price shopping right now. And my brother's NYPD and he got a lot of offices that got side firms. So I think I'm gonna go that route because worst case scenario, they, you know, are licensed to carry and everything.
That's what I was gonna ask. Would you have armed security or unarmed?
Maybe in the beginning, I'm probably gonna get armed security to deter anybody from any negative, you know, energy, and then just eventually, you know, regular security, checking IDs, and eventually, like in Florida, the dispensaries, they're not even using armed security or security anymore, you know? So maybe once I get my reputation from the neighborhood, we won't need it.
How would you provide updates to this community board and the community regarding any concerns that come up?
Mail you guys and go through you. You guys are my new friends.
We're not friends yet. We'll see at the end of the night.
No hard feelings. you
No
know?
hard
If
feelings
you
at
guys
all.
don't want me in my community, then I gotta go somewhere else, but I'd rather give you guys the income that I'm gonna be generating to give back to you guys.
We're very open-minded. We're here to listen. How would you work with the community for your hiring practices?
Oh, I'm just gonna do local. I got a lot of word of mouth, Craigslist, Indeed, Monster, but it's gotta be community based and, you know, diversity, you know? The neighborhood's changed, you know,
So you will be hiring within the community?
within the community, yes.
And regarding, so now, for people who don't know, it is a unionized trade. Will you be willing to work for the union? We have several union members here. Would it be a union-based cannabis dispensary?
If needed, yes.
Okay. I'm going to open it up now for questions, and then after that, I'm going to have the 72nd precinct report on any 311s and 911s that we have from the surrounding community. We're going to start with Ms. Ruiz. Joan could pass the mic back.
Hi, I'm Pat Ruiz. I'm first vice chair, Community Board 7. I have a couple of questions. If you just bear with me, put on my glasses here. You say it's a small space. Your hours are 11 to 7. What are the number of employees that you're going to have during those hours? Will they rotate? Is it part-time? Is it full-time?
Yeah, we're gonna rotate a bunch of part-time employees to start off and see who works best for us.
The occupancy in the store, the number of folks that you're allowed in, what does that look
I don't have
like?
that information yet. The COO, I'm getting the LNO, so it should be here by this week, they said, so I have all that information. But the occupancy, I'm not sure.
Okay, delivery, what is your radius for delivery? How are you going to confirm age? You can have a minor use their parents' credit card online. How will you confirm when you deliver? Is it to the door? Do they meet you at the car?
How
We're
is that?
gonna, when you deliver on my website, they're gonna have to upload a picture of their ID. And then once, we fulfill the order and when my delivery driver gets to the location, that same person who ordered is gonna have to show their ID as well. So it's gonna be a two-step ID procedure.
Really, would
We're
it,
not gonna leave it on the door. We're not leaving it in the mailbox. It's not Amazon. And it's gonna be prepaid already. So we're not gonna be carrying cash, so on and so forth.
And just make sure that you let us know what the occupancy is. I'm concerned because that is a residential block
Yes,
and a lot of people smoke. And they'll get it whether it's legal or not legal, but if it's legal, you know they're gonna line up. So I
exactly.
think we need to be concerned about the residents that are surrounding you. Especially like Barbara said, she doesn't want that smell going in her apartment.
No, it's not, because I don't tolerate smoking and,
Thank you.
but
Hector, then Joan?
My question is, first one, how are you going to verify the authenticity of the ID provided?
I'm a New York resident, so I know how fake IDs, with the hologram and everything, I'm not.
Are you going to have any type of machinery to verify this?
It's required from
Okay.
OCM.
And the other one is when you say delivery, so you're going to download a document. How are you going to verify the document?
When the order comes in person, the driver, before they release the product, they have to show an ID. Like if you go to the liquor store, before they give you a bottle, you have to show an ID. So it's gonna be the same procedure as a liquor store.
It's a lot of false documents out there, especially now with the new requirement that it has to be state and federal certified. Even your driver's license, you cannot use a driver's license if you don't have the start. So.
Oh, yes, no, we'll be looking out for the enhanced IDs. We're fully aware of the enhanced IDs and all that stuff. So
Chavez, I have a question. Would you commit to using a TSA issued identification system, which is the top of the line one that does verify the age, pretty much the most secure one, which is the same one that TSA uses?
if needed, yes, I'll talk to the POS systems, and if they recommend it, we'll definitely get it, because
'Cause I know that's the one that's recommended by OCM.
if it's recommended, definitely.
No? And then John.
I see that the name of your corporation is the Brooklyn Green Project Limited Liability Corporation, doing business as Sunset Cannabis Club.
That is correct, yes.
What do you mean by club?
Club is gonna be like a delivery club. There's not gonna be no get-togethers. The place is very small. I'm very like antisocial. I keep to myself, and but it's gonna be no events. We're not holding no events unless we get a separate venue for an anniversary party or something like that, But club is just a name, like a cannabis club, Like if you sign up to my website, you're gonna get offers and this and that. So that's the kind of club, like a delivery club.
And why did you pick this location?
Because I'm from 52nd Street between 5th and 6th, born and raised in Sunset Park, and I didn't pick, I think this location chose me, honestly. I think the location chose me. Whatever God puts in my, and I just handle it day by day, whatever he puts in my path.
Any other questions from board members? John, I'm sorry, and then Sam.
So actually, this is a follow-up to Joan's question about being a club. Does that, if, you mentioned, the ability to have offers and such like this, but then does that mean that anybody would have to purchase a membership to your club before they would be able to purchase product, or would they have to, or do they have to
Membership.
join?
I just need your email, free membership, your name, your number, and our friendship and your business. That's it. We don't want to charge you no membership. Just pay for your product. I don't even want you to come at your house. We want to deliver it to you like Amazon. You understand? That's my goal. I don't want no hanging out in and out of the store. Really don't want to, because that's when stuff happens. So I just trying to like build up a delivery. And when they ask me about the radius, I'm trying to do Park Slope, parts of Staten Island, because I live out there as well. So like right over the bridge, Bay Ridge, stuff like that, just trying to perform a service.
Did he put a limit on the delivery radius?
No, they
or
really don't, but I just don't want to overdo it. And, I just want to know my areas and take care of my areas. That's it.
Thank you.
I just also want to state OCM recently last week passed legislation that cannabis shops, legal cannabis shops could offer incentives to repeat customers. This was something that was not previously allowed. This is very new. As you know, OCM recently also changed complete management. They have been restructured. And they had a meeting last week where some new regulations were passed where legal cannabis shops are able to offer what's called incentives, discounts to repeat customers, etc. So I think that's what he was referring to when he was saying membership. Now that is an allowable thing. It was not allowed before, and they did it as a competitive edge so that people would use the legal cannabis shops because it is markedly more expensive to go to a legal cannabis shop than to go to an illegal one. But the legal ones are very highly regulated in terms of the product that is allowed. They are only allowed to buy from New York State distributors, and they have to be marked. So it has to have a certain mark and a certain seal, and they have to go out of the shop in a white bag. You just can't walk out with a blunt in your hand. So, Sam?
Hi, Sam Sierra, Sunset Park resident since 1968. Just two brief questions. I appreciate that you're having security outside. I wanted to understand whether or not you were going to be displaying any type of the paraphernalia in the windows.
No, I gotta have the windows frosted, so when kids walk by, you can't even see inside. All you're gonna see is my logo, and it's not gonna be no graffiti that's gonna attract the kids. Regular basic font, frosted windows, and when you come in, it's gonna be a little different experience. You're gonna see the cannabis in the display cases, but it's gonna be out of the reach. You probably mean cannabis is not even gonna be in the case, you understand? It's just gonna be the display packages.
Great, thank you for that. Second question, what will it look like when the shop is closed?
Oh, we're gonna have a, hopefully,
What type of a,
we're gonna have a
gate?
security gate. Hopefully they don't graffiti it, but everything's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna build up the property value of the people around the residents, you know?
Thanks, because I live right around the block from there.
Oh, yeah? Oh, so you should stop by. If you
Yeah.
guys approve me, stop by.
Well, welcome back to Sunset.
Thank you, man.
Get there.
It's the Brooklyn Green Project, DBA Sunset Cannabis Club. No, it's gonna be Sunset Cannabis Club. If I get in Sunset approved, it's gonna be Sunset Cannabis Club, but if it's another area, then it's gonna be Brooklyn Green Project. Right.
Any other board members? Jerry?
So I have two questions. So you mentioned delivery. How are you protecting the driver?
My drivers are we're gonna have geofencing, what do you call that, data. So we're gonna know live where the driver's at, if he's speeding, if he's taking a break, if he took the long way. So we're gonna be analyzing our drivers, you know? And we're not gonna have marked vehicles that says Sunset Cannabis. We're not gonna be a target, you understand? So we're gonna be very down low about it and discreet.
Driver traveling alone or double?
Alone for now, to be honest, but
Okay, so my second question is, you mentioned the design, the frosted glass and everything. Do you have a architecture diagram?
oh, no, not yet. Just when I get approved and I get the LNO, that's when we're gonna start investing money. You know, I've already invested tons of money obtaining the lease, licensing and everything else, you know, so once we get the approval, that's when we start getting the architects and contractors involved and builders and everything.
Back to you.
I have a question. So as I stated earlier, OCM guidance is continuously evolving and changing. It's very difficult for anyone to keep up with it. So how do you maintain that you will keep up with it and make sure your employees keep up with it as well?
We're definitely gonna just pay attention to the website. Every week that releases something new and the laws are changing, and we're just gonna educate ourselves and have meetings and workshops about the new laws that that we gotta adapt to.
So follow up on Cynthia's question. Thank you for bringing that up. I totally forgot. Are you gonna have a compliance person? The compliance person is
Yes.
what Cynthia's talking about, that you have to go up training and.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to have the 72nd precinct provide any information about this particular location, as well as any concerns that they may have.
So this particular location, 55 Street between 5th and 6th Avenue, on the actual block itself, there's been 2 311 calls in the last 30 days and 2 911 calls related to quality of life conditions in the last 30 days. One of those quality of life conditions concerned a disorderly group for a disorderly group for gambling. We also had a suspicious vehicle pull over there and a call for excessive noise. Most concerning to me, one of the 911 calls we had in the area occurred on July 4th. We did have a shot fired on 5 Street and 5th Avenue. That bullet actually went through the window of a residential apartment. Luckily, nobody was hurt. This specific area, we've seen an increase in robbery, and we do know it to be a local crew location. So we're always patrolling. It's our focal point in Sunset Park where we're trying to protect our citizens. As for that too, in close proximity to this area, I mentioned earlier, 48th Street and 5th Avenue. Just as early as yesterday, we did have the marshals do an inspection of a smoke shop that was ultimately closed and padlocked. So this is something as the complaints are coming in, we're addressing immediately. That specific location was known to be purchasing stolen property, and it was selling marijuana. I believe in a legal fashion, the way they had it out for display. So it's a location we hit before, and again, the marshals were very quick and responsive with us in addressing it. So as these complaints come in, we do tend to jump on them right away, but we're relying on the complaints coming from you guys. So any information you have that you can pick up to us, any concerns, specific locations, we'll be able to take care of expeditiously.
Can you repeat the location of the shop? 58th, you said, or 48th?
48th.
48th.
Yeah.
48 and 5th?
Yes.
Thank you. Now we're going to open it up to the members of the public if they have any comments. George? There's the mic.
Okay, so I'm going to bring up a few little points. Don't shoot the messenger. You're going to probably get blamed now for everything that happens in that area, because they're going to say you. Just hope you look like you have the attitude that you're willing to work with everybody. The issue there is going to be double parked cars. You should speak to the 72 precinct, because in the 72 precinct, they have a map of 55, 54, 53, 52 of what gangs occupy those corners. Something you should be aware of for your safety and for our safety, okay? Talk to the cops. Thank you for being here. You showed up. I give you a plus for that. And if you want to get involved, National Night Out. It's going to be August 4th, August 6th. It's a Tuesday. And what we do is we try to get local businesses and local community people to go out, hang out with the cops, and have the kids get to know the cops. The cops get to know the kids. I do a domino event at the precinct where the cops get to know the kids and vice versa. Because if the kids get to know the cops, it's easier and it's a better understanding. So I would invite you for National Night Out to come and see what it's about. You could get a table or come and share one of ours and see what everybody does. And I have the flyer here. If you want, I'll give it to your brother.
Yeah, please. That sounds interesting. I'm
We have flyers outside too. George, we have physical flyers right there.
So thank you for listening.
Thank
welcome.
you.
I appreciate it. Thank you for that advice, info.
Anybody else in person? Gladys has a question or comment.
Food there?
Come up here. Well, you could provide the food, Mr. Alvarez.
Oh, no, we will, definitely. Whatever, donuts, coffee.
You could certainly start your community relations with that. I'm sure the 7-2 would appreciate it, right, George?
We're gonna get a taco
George,
truck
he
there.
said, will there be food there? I said he could certainly is welcome to provide it.
We're gonna get a
Yeah.
Bronco truck there.
I wanted to ask, when it comes to security, will you be connected, like you said, to the precinct, but how will you protect your workers? Panic button, something like that, because of the robberies of stores, bodegas?
Honestly, I've been thinking about that constantly, like something's been telling me go like the jewelry store concept and put the workers behind the glass. But you know what? I want the community to like shake hands with my guys and feel us and look at the product. You understand what I'm saying? But like I said, we're going to have buzz. You're going to buzz to come in. We're going to have cameras on all angles. So, and the security is going to let us in, let them in. So
once they know that that's there and there's money there, you're going to be a target, or you may be a target.
I mean,
like
we're a target
everyone
anyway
else.
in life. You wear a chain, you wear a watch, you're a target. Like
But you want to protect yourself.
Yes, of course. And that's key, the workers.
Hector? Can you let him speak and then we'll pass the mic to you? No worries.
I've been wondering in my head about deliveries. When you talk about deliveries, are you going to be making one delivery at a time? Are you going to have multiple deliveries? And how this is going to work? Especially the person is making the deliveries, that this is an armed person. How they're going to carry
How
the
they're gonna
delivery?
carry? They're gonna carry it in the trunk of their car. We're gonna be very discreet. We're not gonna be advertising that we're delivering cannabis, you understand? And the person who orders cannabis from us is gonna be a member. I'm gonna have his email, I'm gonna have his ID, I'm gonna have his name and phone number. So I'm gonna have that information. I'm sure you don't wanna put that information in and let Fulano come and rob me, you understand? Because it's gonna go back to the person who gave me that ID, so.
Say that if I'm watching your truck making deliveries, I would know. And I believe other people will do the same thing, and they will check and know how many stops you're going to make and what you carry. So I don't see something that is a good outcome from doing deliveries.
We're gonna try it out. It should be very smooth. We're not gonna go into the rough areas. We're not going into the areas we don't belong. We're gonna go to nice homes, nice clientele. I'm not trying to serve just anybody. You understand? I know people watching, but my guys are gonna be trained to keep their eyes open. Anything suspicious, they won't even get out the car. They'll keep going. Hey, they're gonna call me. Hey, Joe, it looks a little funny out here and blah, blah, blah. So if anything, we'll cancel the delivery if we get any funny feelings.
Your name and your affiliation, please, for the record.
Stephanie Alvarez, I'm Joe Alvarez.
Can you speak closer to the mic?
Stephanie Alvarez, I'm Joe Alvarez's wife, and I just wanted to comment on her question.
Yeah, you have.
Okay, I just wanted to comment on her question earlier in regards to the opening procedures. So we were thinking of doing two-person opening and closing. So one would go in, inspect the area, and one would stay on the outside and give, somewhat of a signal to give like clearance of safety for opening and closing.
Let them know where you got that procedure from, where you come from.
My background is finance, so I come from banking, and I worked in JP Morgan for about 10 years, and now I'm actually working in HSBC Bank. So that's part of my background, and that's what I learned from working inside the bank.
Yeah, so she used to open and close in the bank. So opening and closing the bank is very dangerous. So those are the procedures that she used to, and every week the procedure would change. So we're going to implement that same procedures for our opening and closing our business. And the cash that we have, it's a virtual business. A lot of people are going to pay credit card not credit card, ATM, debit. But if they pay cash, I'm going to have the armor truck guys come and pick up the cash as well.
Yeah.
Just as a point of information, as the shop would be a little off Fifth Avenue, I believe that they are also within the purview of an NYPD camera right across Fifth Avenue.
They are. And there's the
point
liquor
that out.
store is at the corner as well.
Yes, looking right at us.
Mhm.
So
That's right. Online, do we have anybody? While Jerry has the last word, anybody online?
I just have a quick,
Folks, if you're joining us online, use your hand.
sorry, I'm on my phone. I'm having a hard time doing that. I'm
Is
wondering,
that Jamie?
yeah,
That's
thank
Jamie.
you.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. I'm wondering what, if any, other cannabis stores have you essentially visited or seen and gotten any input from? Because I understand you may have a background in finance, but cannabis has been legal in several states, and I guess I feel like this is just a very like laissez-faire presentation. Like nothing is really kind of set in stone, and it feels a little bit like, well, honestly, like you're winging it. So I'm just wondering, where else have you been doing research, and where are you getting these ideas from?
I've been seeing Housing Works. I've been dealing with them and all the legal dispensaries. Nobody illegal. I've been seeing their format, how they've been running it, and I understand it says like I've been winging it, but it's just this whole license procedure with the injunction on and off. It's just surreal, but we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna do it. If it's not in this community, we're gonna go to another one. But I just want to make you guys feel confident and safe in me. So I have a successful cannabis dispensary in Sunset Park.
I guess my question is really, other than Housing Works, have you visited any other states? Have you talked to any other
I've been to
owners? Have you?
California. Yes, when I go to California, San Francisco, and Los Angeles, I see all the legal dispensaries. So I'm very passionate about cannabis. So that's why I'm ready to put my money where my mouth is. There's no secret investors. It's me from the community, ready to show and prove to you guys.
Good.
You're good, Jamie? Anybody
Yes,
else
thank you.
online?
Thank you.
Has any comments?
So I do have one question. Maybe hopefully this is the last question. I just realized when you talk about payments, electronic payments and stuff, cannabis is still legal in the federal level.
Yes, so we're only taking cash and we only taking debit. We will not be taking credit card because they haven't changed it yet.
Okay, good. That was my question. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions from members of the community? Yes. When it turns green, there you go. You could stay up here if you like.
Thank you. Just want to say that appreciate you coming here and being in person. I feel like it's very important to come in person for a big important presentation like this. So appreciate your time. And also a lot of businesses that are 21 plus, like liquor stores and bars, also delis that sell cigarettes. A lot of them have done things the right way and been successful and also followed the regulations. So I feel like if you put in the time, effort, and communicate with all the parties, then your business definitely has a chance to succeed and be positive for the community.
Thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate those words, man. Really appreciate it. Come visit us sometime if you approve us.
Any other comments from the community, the board? Nope. Okay, so I will entertain a motion from the board on the application for applicant 51255th. Thanks, Jeremy. I was trying to find the really long name. The Brooklyn Green Project LLC, doing business as a Sunset Cannabis Club located at 512 55th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 11220. Pat? Yes. No, you just said, what are you motioning, my darling?
I want to make an
Yes. Go ahead, Jerry.
amendment.
Yes, go
Motion.
ahead. Friendly amendment to the
When
motion?
you mentioned the motion to add condition that they will provide, you guys will provide a security plan, floor plan, a delivery plan system, meeting with 72 precinct.
Buzzer?
Oh, buzzer system to buzz people in, and especially the system to make sure that you are receiving the right ID, just like going to TSA check.
No problem.
So what we will amend with the motion now says that in approval, Pat, with the following conditions that Mr. Alvarez will be providing to Community Board 7, a full copy of the security plan, including the name of the security company that will be used, a floor plan that outlines both for the basement and the first floor, exactly where everything will be located, a commitment to use a TSA-like point of sale system to verify IDs, a delivery plan that outlines what that will look like, including security for employees, commit to a meeting with the 72nd precinct as well as the NCOs, and that will commit to using a buzzer system style opening for the business. Do you agree with those amendments, Pat? So with that, do we get a second? Sam? Sam seconds. We will now take a vote.
Cynthia Jeffers?
Yes,
Cynthia Jeffers,
with the
yes.
conditions stated.
That is the motion, yes. Jerry Chan?
Yes.
Jerry Chan, yes. Joan Body? Joan Body, yes. Cabino Morales Escamilla? Kin Fung? Hector Gonzalez? Hector Gonzalez, yes. Zachary Jacy? Danielle Lai? Barbara Lee? Barbara Lee, yes. Roberto Martinez? Jamie Nelson?
With the conditions, yes.
Jamie Nelson, yes. Sam Sierra. Sam Sierra, yes. Kalina Sorma. Motion to approve, passes 7 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstentions.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Alvarez, for joining us. We will be following up with you. Expect an email from Natasha or Jeremy with some of the conditions stated as well as with the timeline. If you need additional time to provide us with those items, please keep us notified. And Pat? So we will have make sure we follow up with you with that September 15th timeline in mind, that is the goal for the opening. Are there any other questions, George?
Thank you, accept copies these days. I bring a copy, they're gonna laugh at me. Right. It has to be the authentic, real, New York State enhanced, like you said, with the star.
I think this
Well,
is
the
why.
TSA, that's why we have the condition, the TSA one, you have to have the actual ID and it gets scanned like when you go to the airport. That is the condition.
I have to take your shoes off too.
Thank you. So I would like to thank the Public Safety Committee members for being with us today and joining us, and insurance we have a quorum, as well as the community for coming when we come together and we have these conversations. While we may not always agree, it's good to have them so that we're aware of what's happening. So just to reiterate, for today, we voted to deny the application at 754 4th Avenue and move forward with the application at 512 55th Street with the conditions noted, with the timeline of having all this probably by the end of August, Mr. Alvarez. Okay, if you need additional time, please let us know. The Public Safety Committee meeting is now adjourned, and we're now moving to Executive Committee.
Thank
Thank you, because we're having another meeting about you.
Which will not last very long.
That won't last long. We're switching, or you're gonna stay?
No, I'm just gonna
Okay.
stay here. Executive committee,
I think you have to come up here.
oh no, she's fine.
Okay, she's good? Okay.
And we already took attendance. So I would like to end, well, first, under Article 6, Section 3 of our bylaws, the executive committee has the power to meet on behalf of the full board during our June and September board meeting. Since we are on summer recess, we are activating that section of our bylaws and would like to entertain a motion to affirm the Public Safety Committee's recommendations to deny 754 4th Avenue.
Okay,
and
hon, I need you to stand up.
You need me to stand up?
No, sorry, I'm,
I was like, if
It's
you want me
okay,
to-
Jamie.
if you want me to stand up, I'll stand up.
I can't get her out of the tub, sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. So I would like to entertain a motion to affirm the Public Safety Committee's recommendation to deny 754 4th Avenue and affirm 512 55th Street with the set conditions. Motion did by Pat, seconded, member of the Executive Committee.
Oh, Sam.
Karen, seconded by Karen. Thank you. Let's go ahead and do a roll call vote.
Thank you. Julio Pena the third.
Yes.
Third, yes. Pat Ruiz. Pat Ruiz, yes. Cynthia Jeffers.
Yes.
Cynthia Jeffers, yes. John DeLuper. John DeLuper, yes. Karen Rolnick. Karen Rolnick, yes. Jerry Chan.
Yes.
Jerry Chan, yes. Rosie Moda. Rosie Moda, yes. Sam Sierra. Sam Sierra, yes. Barbara Lee. Barbara Lee, yes. Motion carries 9-0 with 0 abstentions.
Thank you, everyone. This meeting is now adjourned.
And before we finish, I would just like to encourage everyone to about National Night Out, August 6th. It would be at Greenwood Park this year in Windsor Terrace. Please, let's support that side of the community board. They always come down to Sunset Park. It's only right that we go up to them up in Windsor Terrace, August 6th from 4 to 8 p.m. Thank you.